Buildship, FlutterFlow, and 11 Labs. This is wild. The future of building AI-powered apps has never been scarier, but also easier. Check out what I have here. What you see is Chefmate. This is an app that we built in one of our courses called No Code AI Pro, where we teach people how to build AI-powered apps. What I have here is an app that can take in a list of ingredients that you have in your fridge, like rice, onions, tomatoes, cilantro, and bell peppers. We can indicate how much time we have. And what's happening here is we are hitting the ChatGPT API, GPT 3.5 Turbo to be exact. We're using the API to create a recipe based on what I have in the fridge. The whole value proposition was an app for busy professionals to keep track of their recipes, keep track of their grocery list, and be able to use AI to maximize their groceries that they have at home. So the initial version of this app was simply just a ChatGPT generated recipe, but I took this one step further. I hooked up the text-to-speech API from 11 Labs by using Buildship to create a really simple REST API call. It's literally a post request that uses the text-to-speech node, has my API key, the voice ID of one of the voices that are hanging out in my 11 Labs account here. You literally can use one of their preset voices, or you can use their voice lab to actually create a voice and grab the voice ID. So you can come here, grab the voice ID. I have one for me, I have one for my mother, and I have one for my dad as well. So you literally can come in here, clone your own voices, grab the ID, and then potentially send that back to 11 Labs from Buildship, right here in Voice ID, to literally create like your own AI-powered like pseudo assistant that has your own voice. Scary, okay? I left most of this stuff the same. I just have the instructions, and the instructions are actually coming from my FlutterFlow application. So FlutterFlow, I actually added the ability to hit Talk to Me. When I click on Talk to Me, I'm actually triggering an API request. And let me show you how I did that. Back at FlutterFlow, in the widget where I am showing the responses, I have this button called Talk to Me. That button triggers an API called Text to Speech, and all I'm doing is passing in the results that you see here. I'm passing in this whole paragraph. I send that to Buildship in the body of my API response. So in the body of this API call right here, I have a field called instructions, and I'm passing in instructions. Buildship gets those instructions from FlutterFlow, and then we take these instructions and send them to the text-to-speech API from 11 Labs, and then the front end just gets returned a 200 with a value of an audio file path that 11 Labs sends back to us. And we know that they send back an audio file because it's indicated here in their API documentation. And we knew that they send back an audio file, and lucky for us, FlutterFlow has the ability for us to create an action that literally plays an audio file. So check this out. We make the API call. If the API call succeeds, we have this action for play a sound, and we literally can just pass in the audio file that comes back from 11 Labs. So it's super amazing how like each one of the inputs and outputs literally just fall together like puzzle pieces. This is why I think the future of like building AI-powered apps can definitely be no code. An awesome perk too, we just partnered up with 11 Labs and we have our own affiliate link. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. And we also are giving out perks for FlutterFlow and stuff in our private community and inside the Dreams into Apps Accelerator program. So we're super excited to partner with 11 Labs. I'm gonna be doing a lot more tutorials, but hey, let's check this out. Let's see if it works. So we'll go back to test mode and we'll hit Talk to Me, and I'm gonna be quiet so that you can hear what our AI chef assistant has to say.
With assortment with the ingredients of rice, onions, tomatoes, and onions, and a limited time of 10 minutes, you can whip up a quick and delicious tomato and onion rice dish. Start by cooking the rice according to the package instructions. While the rice is cooking, chop the onions and tomatoes. In a separate pan, heat some oil and sawdust seed the onions until they are translucent and slightly caramelized. Then add the tomatoes and cook until they soften and release their juices. Once the rice is ready, add it to the pan with the onions and tomatoes, stirring everything together to combine the flavors. Season with salt and pepper to taste. You can also add some herbs or spices like garlic powder, paprika, or cumin to enhance the taste if desired. Serve the tomato and onion rice as a side dish or enjoy it as a satisfying vegetarian main course.
That is wild. So where I'm seeing this going is like being able to use Buildship to like chain together different nodes that take inputs from ChatGPT, input that into, 11 Labs, create voice assistants, and then back at FlutterFlow, be able to generate, be able to accept more voice files, convert that to text, send it to ChatGPT, and now you can create this push and pull dynamic of like voice to text, text to voice, maybe even include images in there. The possibilities are endless. And like with Buildship, you literally can just add nodes that do different things. We can save this as a file somewhere. We could literally have like podcasts being created out of this. We could create our own like mini tutorial guides and like potentially even sell them and create marketplaces for people to share their own AI powered ingredients. Maybe you take a picture of what you have in your fridge, go from image to text, and that text is everything that's in the fridge. Then you send that to ChatGPT. ChatGPT understands what you can make with those ingredients, sends them over to 11 Labs, and now you have your own personal voice assistant. That's just one example of like chaining together these various nodes. But like the breakthrough here is like the inputs and the outputs, right? Like it's never been easier to hook up API calls and string together the inputs and the outputs. And FlutterFlow is the pinnacle of an app builder that gives you access to the code, right? So you have unlimited flexibility with FlutterFlow. And then you combine that with Buildship, where Buildship actually gives you that flexibility of having a code-like editor as well, where you literally can just click and view the code that's going into this API call. And this looks like TypeScript to me. I've written TypeScript for like 8 years. That was the programming language I used while building Prize Picks. And this is a very strong API call that adheres to the best practices that any TypeScript developer who you would have to pay hundreds of dollars an hour to literally sit there and write all this stuff. So yeah, the future's never been brighter. I think AI-powered apps are going to take the market by storm. It's really going to come down to the entrepreneurs who have a unique insight into a niche that they know about, and people who lead with AI for their products, rather than the companies who are now like catching up and adding AI just to play catch up. I think the opportunity for us as entrepreneurs is to create products that are AI forward, use AI as a wedge into a market that's never seen AI before, and then bring all those like more trivial features on the backside of all that. Awesome. So I hope you learned something new. I'm going to leave a link below to our free Discord community, our free introduction course on no-code app building. And maybe if you're interested, feel free to book a free discovery call and go through the enrollment process for Dreams into Apps. Limited seats available every month. And we're working with a bunch of entrepreneurs who are building some really exciting AI-powered startups, and you could be the next one. I'll see you there.